Namaste students, I welcome you all in my Anupama classes through YouTube channel. Students, today we will read another new topic from the first chapter, Indian Economy on the Eve of Independence, and the topic is occupational structure. What do you mean by occupational structure? Occupational structure is the distribution of population engaged in primary, secondary and tertiary sector. So let's see on the eve of independence how they were distributed. Let's read agriculture sector. On the eve of independence, 72.2% of the people were engaged in agriculture. This was very much more as compared to other countries like England and America, where only 2% of the population were engaged in agriculture, and Japan it was 12%, Germany 4%. Next is industry, an insignificant source of occupation. On the eve of independence, population engaged in industry, that is manufacturing industries or mining, were only 8%. This was much less as compared to other countries like USA and England, where the population 32% were engaged in industry and industry in USA, and 42% of the population were engaged in industry in England. Now next is unbalanced growth. What do you mean by, and first you understand what do you mean by balanced growth. Balanced growth is where a country where primary sector, secondary sector or the tertiary sector, all they are equally developed. So we can say on the eve of independence, looking at agriculture sector, industry sector and tertiary sector, we had an unbalanced growth. Secondary and tertiary sector were in the infant stage of growth. Now, if we see regional wise, that is regional variation, Rajasthan, Punjab and Odisha mainly dependent on agriculture, and Madras, Maharashtra, Bengal, they were emerging center of industrialization and trade. So these actually here they slightly shift from agriculture to industry. And as I have told you, the main reason for that was emerging center of industrialization and trade. So overall, if we see, occupational structure on the eve of independence was very disappointing. The main thing to observe is 72.2% of the people were engaged in agriculture. Still, agriculture was only the source of subsistence. Next, a view if we see, that is Indian economy on the eve of independence was very backward. People suffered from starvation, hunger and death. So today we have completed one of the topic. In my next video, we shall continue with the next topic. Thank you students.